Amazing! I'm talking about 3 made-for-TV horror films from the teens that all have 2 different titles. And the names of those 3 movies are The Housekeeper's Revenge, Stolen from the Suburbs, and The Wrong Daughter. This up is The Housekeeper's Revenge, also known as The Maid. This stars Catherine Newton, is the whole reason I did this thing. And the basic premise is this young woman is going to college in Florida and she suddenly is having a lot of bad things happen to her. Like some revenge porn situations, some harassment, some stalking. She thinks it's her recent ex-boyfriend, but maybe it's someone else. I definitely went into this with lower expectations just because it is a made-for-TV movie. You never know where these are gonna lie. And I legitimately really enjoyed this. I had so much fun with it. I think what they nailed, the mystery, because this is a mystery film of what the hell is going on, and they nailed the formula in which they make us ask a question, and then after a little bit they give us a satisfying answer to that question, but at the same time that then raises more questions that we're now thinking about and trying to figure out the answers to. So the whole time I'm completely engaged in the story because I want to figure out what the hell is going on. And Catherine was great in the lead. I mean, she's always solid, but she definitely shines here. Like I stated, this is a made-for-TV movie, and you can definitely see the rough edges of their budget. But honestly, it's no worse than just watching like a cable TV show. It's definitely on par with that. So I really didn't mind that at all. And there were definitely silly moments that didn't mean to be silly, and moments that were meant to be serious that were really laughable. But I didn't mind those moments because they were very few and far between and very short. Plus, on the whole, they got the emotions right. Like, I was definitely scared for our main character. I definitely was fearful of the villain. I was frustrated with the dad's frustrations. It was all that sort of stuff. I was there along for the ride. They really nailed that. So I'm okay with the rough spots because they did everything else so well. So yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie and would totally recommend it. You just have to make sure you're going in with the right expectations. It is a made-for-TV movie. You will see the edges, so don't expect big budget Hollywood type stuff. But for what it is, it nails it, and it's definitely a worthwhile experience that I guarantee you will enjoy. So yes, want a good, fun, interesting little thriller mystery film? Look no further. This is a delightful experience. Next up is Stolen from the Suburbs, or Stolen from Suburbia. This is a 2015 film starring Sydney Sweeney and is not good. The premise is that this woman and her daughter move from Wisconsin to California to do something, I forget. They have a little fight and then the daughter gets human trafficked. It's all about the mom trying to Liam Neeson the daughter back. And it's watchable technically, and there were solid moments, and it is interesting, but there are other moments that are just straight up stupid and literally could not have been written more poorly. It's such a mixed bag of a film, to say the least. It's definitely a melodrama, and it really, really needs to tone it down a lot. Like, melodramas can work, but they're not getting it. And just like a lot of the premise stuff, I'm just not buying. Like, they started off with kidnapping unhoused children, and those are definitely kidnapped a lot. But like a daughter from a well-to-do neighborhood getting kidnapped in broad daylight, like, I'm sure it's happened, mostly by a relative, but this is painting the wrong sort of picture for what is reality. I did like that they ended the film with some hotline stuff and talking about actual human trafficking things, but the premise of the movie is just too ridiculous, too silly. So yeah, no, I didn't put this in the did and liked, but I still wouldn't recommend it. It's not a good, worthwhile film, even if you're a big Sydney Sweeney fan. Like, no. And lastly is The Wrong Daughter. This is a 2018 film, again starring Sydney Sweeney, and oh my god. Ugh. The premise is there are these two children within the foster care system. They're roommates. Sydney Sweeney plays the bad one. She gets kicked out of the home, but she steals her roommate's laptop and uses that to then reconnect with her roommate's birth mother and then pretends to be the long-lost daughter. But wouldn't you know it, Sydney Sweeney stops taking her medication, so she's just insane. Oh, the alternative title is Psycho Daughter, which makes sense because she's just insane in this. Both titles are silly. The acting was atrocious. It was so bad from everyone, including Sydney. The dialogue was so rough and very echoey at times. It's like if I didn't have this microphone, it's just like the regular echoes of a room. So I'm guessing that's the issue, is they just didn't have external microphones for a good chunk of the film. It was really just hard to watch for most of it. I kept just checking out and being like, no, come on, Charlie, pay attention, you can do it. It reminded me a lot of watching student films, just kind of that ambitious idea but poorly executed. Scenes and moments stay too long or too short, just like everything about it is just not quite right. So yeah, it's definitely a melodrama and way too silly and just over the top. I get what they were going for, but like, man, it's rough. There were some kills that happened here, but they were just, let's say, strange. So yeah, no, I did not care for this film and I would not recommend it. It's what you think of when you think of a bad made-for-TV movie. Don't bother. Alrighty, now for today's rankings. First up, we got The Housekeeper's Revenge sitting at number 82 in the really like section. And then after that, a long ways down, is Stolen from the Suburbs sitting at number 215 in the meh category. And then bringing up the rear, rightfully so, is The Wrong Daughter sitting at number 243 in the didn't like section. And this is out of a total of 252 old movies this year.